Somewhere between 10,000 and 40,000 years ago, something happened that changed both species forever. A wolf walked toward a human, and the human didn't run. That moment, or something like it, is where the story of dogs begins. But the version most people know isn't quite right. We didn't domesticate dogs the way we domesticated cattle or horses. We didn't capture wolves, put them in enclosures, and selectively breed the friendliest ones over generations. The relationship between humans and dogs is older and stranger than that. And understanding how it actually started reveals something surprising about both species. Let's go back to the beginning. For most of human prehistory, wolves and humans were competitors. We hunted the same prey. We occupied the same landscapes. In most encounters, wolves and humans probably avoided each other, or worse. But here's the thing about both species. Wolves and humans are unusually similar in ways that matter. Both are highly social. Both live in cooperative groups. Both rely heavily on communication within those groups. Both are generalist hunters, capable of taking a wide variety of prey. Both are intelligent enough to learn from experience and adjust behavior based on new information. When two species share that many fundamental traits, the conditions for cooperation are already in place. All it takes is the right circumstances. Those circumstances may have arrived with the emergence of human campsites. When humans began staying in one place long enough to leave significant food waste, that waste attracted wolves. Not the boldest, most aggressive wolves, the ones that were bold enough to approach human settlements but calm enough to tolerate proximity to people without attacking or fleeing. The skittish wolves stayed away. The aggressive wolves were driven off or killed. The wolves that could exist in that middle space, close to humans without conflict, got access to a reliable food source. And that changed everything about them. Over generations, the wolves that tolerated human proximity reproduced more successfully than the ones that couldn't. Their offspring inherited that tolerance. Selection didn't need to be directed by humans. It happened automatically, driven by the simple logic of who survived and who didn't. This is the self-domestication hypothesis, and it mirrors almost exactly what happened with cats and grain storage thousands of years later. But something else was happening alongside the food. Wolves and humans were learning each other. Wolves are extraordinarily good at reading social cues. In their own packs, they constantly monitor status, mood, intention, and relationship dynamics. When wolves began living near humans, they applied that same social intelligence to us. They learned our patterns, they learned our moods, they learned which humans were safe and which weren't. And some researchers believe that as this learning deepened over generations, the relationship shifted from tolerance to something closer to partnership. There's evidence that early humans and proto-dogs may have hunted together, not through training, but through a natural alignment of interests. Wolves are faster than humans. Humans are better at long-distance tracking and planning. A hunting partnership that combined both advantages would have benefited both species, and the fossil and archaeological records suggest this kind of collaboration may be ancient. But here's the part of this story that most people miss. Dogs didn't just adapt to us. They changed in ways that made them uniquely capable of understanding humans specifically. Research has shown that dogs can follow human pointing gestures in ways that even chimpanzees, our closest genetic relatives, struggle with. Dogs make eye contact with humans in ways wolves don't. Dogs look to humans for guidance when faced with a problem they can't solve, a behavior called social referencing, which even hand-raised wolves don't typically show. These aren't just behavioral changes, they're cognitive changes. Dogs evolved a set of social tools specifically calibrated to human beings. They can read our faces, they can interpret our emotions, they respond to our tone of voice in ways that suggest genuine emotional understanding. Some researchers have argued that no other species on Earth is as well adapted to reading human social signals as the domestic dog. Which raises a strange question. Did we make dogs smarter about humans? Or did dogs, by living alongside us and learning us deeply, become something genuinely new? The answer is probably both. The relationship shaped both species. Humans who kept dogs would have had advantages in hunting, protection, and detecting threats. Dogs who stayed with humans had access to food, warmth, and protection of their own. The partnership wasn't charity from either side. It was mutual benefit operating over a very long time. And somewhere in that long time, something shifted. The relationship stopped being purely practical. Dogs began sleeping beside humans. Humans began mourning dogs when they died. Dogs appear in ancient burial sites, sometimes buried with the same care as human companions. At some point, the dog stopped being a useful animal and became something closer to a family member.
We don't know exactly when that happened. We probably never will. But we know it happened long before recorded history, which means it's one of the oldest relationships our species has ever had. The dog didn't start as man's best friend. It started as a wolf at the edge of a campfire. And over thousands of years, through cooperation, mutual learning, and a partnership that benefited both sides, it became something no other animal has ever become. Not just tame, not just useful, genuinely understood by us and genuinely understanding of us. That's not domestication, that's friendship. Just a very old and very slow one.